for a thriving business ecosystem, one that has nurtured many innovators and founders. Today we have one such founder, Mr. Balaji, joining us today to share his views on his company. Hello,
Hi.
Mr. Balaji.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. We just have a few questions. Very honored to have your views on how you have founded your company and what it takes to actually be an entrepreneur.
Thanks for having me here, and thanks viewers. I'm introduce myself first. I'm Balaji. I'm a founder of a company called Zearo Consulting Services, and we have a cloud-based product called QSale. We started a company some 14 years before, and when I started a company, I found that a cloud-based application is very important for a Qatar, because during that time I was working previously with a company called Ooredoo, and very specifically I was working for a project called copper to fiber migrations. Okay. So in this copper to fiber migration,
so I must ask, how big is your company, since you all have also helped small, medium and also large. So currently, how big is your company, how big is your team, how many people are working on all of these interfaces?
See, the major problem to answer this question is I have a very big team of but don't laugh, a very big team of more than 18 people. I feel like it's very big, because in IT company this doesn't quantify by number of people. So it is well quantified by less people, more delivered. Like for an example, even the 5 people is enough, but it has to deliver the huge functionalities. So to answer the question, I have a team. To me, 18 people is very huge. I want only 5 to 10 people or 6 people. If after AI, no people is still okay. Only me and AI. So what I meant to say is we are around 18 people, because we have a different streamlines, different departments, like somebody has to collect the cash, somebody has to do marketing, somebody has to. So we are a team of 18. And our team is, I feel this up. And we developed a product, cloud-based ERP system. So we were developed and we are implementing and testing to several businesses. Very early stage of business. So we did a very good amount of development, testing, validation, and learning a business. I was doing everything in parallel. So slowly my learning also started. I identified that one good. Now almost I have 14 years of experience in Qatar. And very good and very bad experiences I have it in my journey. So the very good statement I would like to raise is it's very simple to make a complicated things, especially a software. And it's very complicated to do very simple things. The time and experience, I came to know anything you do more complicated, more functional, it is dragging the business. Very simple. So that your reach will be easier. And when it comes to the business, it always need a simple things. And it's not so easy to do a simple things. So after 5 years, I started simplifying what I did for the past 5 years. So I came to know that what I'm doing in the ERP, it need a huge simplification. So I created a product, cloud-based product called QSale. My core objective is to simplifications. Anything on a complications, I try to cut down. So I started simplifying. Then the success slowly started turn towards us. So in 5 years, we created a cloud-based billing solution. So the system we simplified into small components of app. And user-friendly applications like billing, purchase module, and accounts, inventory, how to deposit money. Everything we developed a small app. The owner can able to see their role in the small app. Then we saw that whatever happened in doesn't happen in 5 years. Things started happening in 2 years. So we got a huge traction from the market, and the market started recognizing us. And then it created an interest on us to further simplify. So we simplified in such a way that we now achieved a lot of milestones. Like past consequent 3 years, we are doing national level sports event. We are supplying a software. Like we did FIFA Arab Cup 3 years before, and 2 years before we did FIFA, and all the stadiums using our software. And last year we did it for Asia Cup also. We supplied all the software to the stadiums.
Right.
Now we have a good tie-up with the banks. We are now come up with the innovative payment system integrated with the billing solutions.
Wow,
And
okay.
hugely we are trying to reduce the cost towards the individuals on acquiring a billing system, enabling the payment systems and digital payments and everything we have started doing. And quite good. Recently we have seen that considerable growth in our business. So we went beyond the language. We try to work with the sense of our consumers, of our customers. So we take into account less weightage to the language, give more weightage to the sense,
Right.
and by the means of size, color, positions,
Right.
dark, weightage,
Yeah.
and those things we given high priority.
Right. So it's very easy to use for
Very easy
anybody.
to use,
Yes.
because your language now we reduced.
Right.
So now it become kind of very universal or multicultural application.
Also, sir, in terms of affordability for your customer, in what ways are your products, say, giving that edge as compared to businesses that are probably doing it at more competitive prices, as you mentioned? So if they are offering it at lower prices, in what way is your business providing that edge, or in what different ways, in fact, is your business providing that edge, so that the customer, even in terms of affordability, they're keeping that non-local option aside and going for your business?
Yes, see, the cost is affordability, and the cost is a very integral part of market study and acceptance. So it's a very challenging to keep the line where we are keeping a cost. So for an example, when some customers, when we try to fix the price and go, they will say that, okay, what's your software cost? Say for an example, I am telling 1,000 riyal. No, we have a good budget. We have 5,000 riyal for this year. So we will go better software. So when you fix the price very low, certain customers will think that, no, I will go for a better software.
Yeah.
When you say my software is 5,000 riyal, the people say 5,000 riyal? No, we have a budget of 100 riyals. So it is always when we try to productize, when we try to market, we have to be very careful on fixing a price. So we go with a well justified line of accepted by the customers and accepted the market, and we will fix the price accordingly.
Right.
Our price also, we need to ensure that internationally what are the prices happening and whether it is affordable locally with this volume, because international products, our volume is so high.
Yes, sir.
Here the volume is comparatively less. So this line is a very constant struggle. We always thrive.
Right.
So now we have worked with so many innovations. We are using internet, not just an internet. We don't want to leave the overhead on the customer on anything as much as possible. What we did is we are planning to tie up with certain banks. We are talking to certain regulatories to pull down the process, pull down the cost, pull down the complications, so that every shop is affordable to have a software and organized and participate in the digitalization.
Right.
So digitalization as a vision, several people has. And I took it as a mission, I took it as a life, and I am doing it on daily basis.
Yes.
And the cost, without, we are trying to pull down no hardware cost. That's my objective. Okay. So we are planning to pull down the hardware cost, and we will put it our software inside the bank terminal, so that the payment terminal itself will have a billing solutions.
Right.
And we try to reduce using external hardwares. We try to pull down the cost. The affordability
In the IT industry, what specific challenges have you faced, especially in this market, and what gaps did you try to fill in terms of the products that you are offering?
Yes. See, when I started seeing the market, I was, when I say 14 to 15 years before, or 24 years before, launch a cloud-based product. The first thing is, if something is not there in the market, we need to educate the market. The first thing we need to educate. Let's say 15 years before, cloud was always a buzzword. They will say that cloud, cloud, cloud. But what is a cloud? So the first thing is education, because over the time, even before COVID, when we say we have a cloud-based application, the people used to resist. No, I want a data in my office. I want the data in my desk. I want the data in my bank. I want safe. So it's very difficult for me to convince the market that cloud is the future. The people don't much concern about future. The people more concerned about now. So I want the customer to come one step towards me, and I want to go towards the customer one step, and we need to agree, then only the sale will happen. So I study the market. Though it was a cloud-based application, it's very difficult for me to convince the customers to buy a cloud-based application 14 years before. The people always say, no, I want within my premises. So the first thing I need to start with education. So I will tell that you will lose the data, and you have to maintain on your own. So many things I used to educate. So a couple of years went on educating the market itself. So over the time, when the COVID come, the market become highly conducive to accept these cloud-based applications. Nowadays, you can see the governance, regulatory, even the banks, airlines, everybody started adopting the cloud-based application after a cloud fully. It is not anymore a futuristic technology. It become a very integral part of us. So initial days, I struggled to convince the customer and the market towards the cloud-based application, number one. Number two, when I started a business around 14 years before, we were from Qatar, we have a different cost, we have a different regulatory we need to fulfill, and we have a different commitment we need to fulfill when we are in local. But the people from outside, like Dubai or from India or from Lebanon and other country, they come for a 6 months vacation, and they try to sell as much as possible, as cheap as possible, and they try to go off. And they give a very, very competitive price where we cannot even imagine. Because their goal is a short term. Our goal is a long term. We need to fulfill the regulatory, we need to fulfill the local existence, and so many things we have over it. So competing people who have a short term and competing people where thinking a long term is a very big challenge for us to overcome. So we need to educate the market. Yes, when they are trying to give that, are you sure they are completely obliged with the regulatory here? Are they going to stay here for longer? Tomorrow the regulatory is changing certain things, whether you will get that particular changes done. Are you in a safe hand? Your data is in a safe place. Are you getting adequate support? Those things are all very, very challenges, and we try to educate the market, go with the local suppliers, and try to, obviously we need to be a very cost effective. And over the time, we identified that using a cloud is drastically reducing infrastructure cost, maintenance cost, and we try to convey and convince the customers towards it. So these are the market gap we found, and we fulfill. Now we are very clear on what we are doing, and even the customers are all very clear that they should go with a local presence, and they need to know the complete regulatory stuff. So these are all now getting well addressed. Now we are in a very ground to reality and well grounded, and we are very well understand that what is the need, how simple it is, and how good it is addressing, how affordable to the customers, and how easy to adopt, and those things we are trying to address. And we also understand the nature of the market here. Say for an example, here 90% of the employees use our software. Forget 90%, 99% of this is our customer. So we need to ensure that our application, especially the cloud-based application, is usable to them. Like the people now go for a vacation, someone else will be taking care. So it should be very simple. And I'm sure the users of our software doesn't know the English, and the users of our software doesn't know their own domain skills, because acquiring the skills, experience skills is a challenge. So we addressed all those things to within our software. Now it become a part of a culture here. Now I can say that when we try to listen our application, how it is being adopted is according to the expatriates who live here without having a much background about their domain. Still they can use our software. Our user experience is so simple, and our user experience is well accommodated to the culture here. So yeah, so now our product
Moving on to our next question. So in terms of digitalization and Qatar National Vision 2030, in what ways do you see QSale contributing to this process?
Yeah, I will say QSale definitely has a very integral part in that vision. I can say it's in a very core position we have. Unlike other product, QSale is very particular about digitalization.
Right.
Digitalization, as I said earlier, digitalization enterprise, big enterprise, is a piece of cake. They are affordable, feasible, doable. Digitalization on a small and medium is completely not doable, not affordable, not open. And until otherwise, if you are doing the last milestone of the aided with the digitalization, the vision not going to fulfill. So QSale is very particularly addressing about the last milestone of a small and medium business, specifically on a small business.
Right.
So I can say that yes, QSale has a huge contribution or a core of a contribution towards this digitalization mission.
Correct.
Number one. Number two, as I mentioned earlier, automating and regulating and aiding the process of the small business is not a child's play. It demands very inclusive activity. So it needs a very particular study about the business, their nature, their capacity, their capabilities, and every aspect we need to understand to do this. In past 10 years, I was observing this behavior. I haven't stopped only by observation. I really tried several ways. In all several ways, whenever I get a failure, I try to see how I can reiterate without tired, how to improvise. Say for an example, we try to place a small software for a small shop. We found a lot of challenges. I'm talking about 4 or 5 years before. We found a lot of challenges to automate them. Because there is no people, there is no procurement people, there is no anybody to help one single cashier. One single cashier has to define a product master. Let's say for an example, water bottle. They need to define it in our software. How they can do, there is always 15 people in the queue. And without his knowledge, the supplier will come and keep it and give a bill. So we studied this behavior and we automated this. So we created a very cloud-based system, an ecosystem, where it defined almost all the product master in the cloud. Let's say we have anything in the retail shop you are buying. We have that information in our cloud background. So we have all the products, QR code, most of the products. We have images, which category, what's the product name, what is the specifications, we have it. So the every shop simply scan and type only the purchase price and sale price and whom he purchased, and then save it. They can do it during a sales time itself. They don't need to be well organized to do purchase invoices. We have given an app for the purchase invoices also. So we have automated so many restaurant cafeterias. We have a beautiful customer base at the moment. Our customer base is like Tea Time, Shatrabas, even UDC use our Pearl Qatar, several shops using our software all over the places. Now we reach in such a way that in the radius of every major city area, every 1 kilometer, definitely 1 or 2
Qatar
customers.
is famous for a thriving business ecosystem, one that has nurtured many innovators and founders. Today we have one such founder, Mr. Balaji, joining us today to share his views on his company. Hello,
Hi.
Mr. Balaji.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. We just have a few questions for you. We'd be very honored to have your views on how you have founded your company and what it takes to actually be an entrepreneur.
Thanks for having me here, and thanks viewers. I'm introduce myself first. I'm Balaji. I'm a founder of a company called Zearo Private Consulting Services, and we have a cloud-based product called QSale. So we started a company some 14 years before, and when I started a company, I found that a cloud-based application is very, very important for a Qatar.
That's a very good insight, sir. Thank you. So, QSale is described as a cloud business ecosystem. Sir, could you elaborate for us exactly what that entails and how this ecosystem is benefiting small and medium-sized enterprises?
Really, COVID time has given us COVID after COVID and during COVID. It just given us a good market space for us to get into.
Right.
So then they understand that from the home they can place order, because one sandwich doesn't need to be there inside the table and place order. They can do it from their living room. So then we given an e-commerce. So I answer the question of ecosystem. QSale is not just a billing solution. I named it as an ecosystem. When I say ecosystem, it has all the demand and as well as the supply and everything in a one single platform. So what we did is we tried to give online options. We have given a digital menus, QR codes, and when they place an order, it will try to print it in the kitchen, and they can connect to a delivery systems like Snunu. And now it is well organized. We created a complete.
So I see your ecosystem already very much a part of sporting events, and you've branched out into banks and even F&B. Is there any other market you see yourself branching out into?
Yes, when we open a business, we were opportunistic. Like we were keep our options like this. If you want website, we will do. If you want anything, we will do. Now over the time, we try to we are trying to be more specific to what we are doing.
Right.
So now we reduced our domains. We reduced our particular to the FMB and also verticals and segment. So we try to fulfill first with FMCG, small and medium, and then enterprise. When it comes to the restaurant, cafeteria, and pop-up shops, now to the chain of restaurants.
Right.
So now slowly we are going to electricals, mobile shops, and to the big. So we are both different verticals and different segments, because I don't think any software, a single software, can fit for multiple verticals and multiple segments. There is no single. You cannot domesticate elephant as your pet animal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we can only maximum have a dog or a cat. So we cannot domesticate elephant. So a SAP cannot go on utilized in a small retail shop.
Yes, sir.
So this is a very we are going with vertical and segment, and we are going step by step to automate this. Our software should be faster than one sandwich when they order. So they need to open the mobile, they need to show the menu, they need to agree, they need to select, they need to understand 3 real, and they say 3 real one sandwich. They need to search SAN, and then they need to select one quantity and submit. And everything should happen faster than one sandwich.
Right.
So this is a challenge we had. Which is faster?
One sandwich.
One sandwich is always faster. One sandwich, the cook will prepare one sandwich, and so how I can aid the process? I cannot drag the process. A small sandwich company to learn English and type sandwich and select and print and thing. So many events. But I need to organize. That's our challenge. We made it. We made the software in such a way that faster than one sandwich.
Okay.
Do you guess how it is?
Not sure, sir.
Please guess. I need some wild guess.
Okay. Maybe
How we
just,
can reduce the speed of one sandwich?
Maybe just keeping it as a logo, maybe, and it's just pressed and it goes directly.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
Okay.
So but
there's no
if there
typing
is an item of
Many
75 items,
yeah.
still they need to drag and identify. So even this is slightly slower than one sandwich.
Right.
Okay. Now what happens is what we did is, this is our complications. So our user experience team did it how we can automate this. So what we did is, we completely cut down the waiter itself. We remove the voice of one sandwich.
Right.
We have given a QR code. We have given a mobile. So the customer can able to scan the QR code and they select sandwich. They explore, they read, all the paleo diet and the calorific value, all those things the waiter may not know. It's a very redundant. So he select everything, he is satisfied and he submit. It will print here and cook will know in a well organized way.
Yes,
and this is how the entrepreneurship should go.
Right.
So what we did is we drastically reduced the voice of one sandwich itself. We never compete with one voice, like one sandwich. We completely cut down the voice itself and we organized digital way of taking an order. Now we given the same solution to the small cafeterias itself. And this is a simplification, we made it in the market. And now the owners of the cafeteria, they don't need a waiters.
Right.
Number one.
So
Huge
can you
cost.
tell us a little bit about what Qatar's environment is like for startups and what your experience has been in terms of the regulatories in Qatar?
It's a very wonderful question. This will be very helpful for the startup also, because I have collectively more than 14 years of experience, and definitely I would like to share this. From my understanding and from my experience, Qatar is a beautiful place to do a startup. There are 1,000 reasons which I can list constantly. Number one, Qatar is highly conducive and Qatar is a very welcoming market for the startups. I will tell why. Number one, they like innovations. They are ready to spend for innovations. Unlike other countries they are very cost calculative. They will not welcome new things. But Qatar is not like that. Anything if you do, the people will welcome.
Right.
Second thing is Qatar market is highly affordable. Every business have affordability to buy. Third thing, Qatar regulatory is very crystal clear. We know what they want and they listed everything very clearly. So you can do very clearly what you want to achieve. And what is the regulations, what is its bound is well defined in Qatar.
Right, sir.
And third thing, anything you want to achieve, you can achieve it very easily. If I want to go to industrial area, other end, I can go within 45 minutes.
Correct.
I want to go to the other end, Alcor, it is 1.5 hours. So my traveling time is highly reduced. If I want to solve a solution for any manufacturers and I want to visit them, it takes only 45 minutes for me to go there. Unlike in other places, if I really want to go to the manufacturing sector, it's 3 days business. I need to go by flight, and in other country I am talking about. Let's say even I do it in any other places.
Yes,
but here 45 minutes I can drive, I can engage, and the people are very open. Here, especially when you go for any new innovations or a sales, the people will respect. Meaning they respect you, they spend time with you, they will never ignore. At least they will say I am busy.
Correct.
But in other places, if you go to any other places, they will say no, are you from sales? No, don't come here, I am busy. Like that they will show. Here no, the people are very open minded. They will open and they will listen. At least they will say no, and no is very, very important for us.
Right.
Okay, because we need to know at least they are not interested.
Correct.
And they have a courtesy to say here. In other places, they don't even listen. So I see Qatar is a beautiful.
So do you have any advice for young entrepreneurs who are just starting out in the market?
Yes, definitely. As I said in earlier stages, try to do simple things than complicated things. Number one. Number two, go beyond success and failure. Don't confine yourself with success and failure.
Yes, sir.
Try to understand the market and requirements and work very specifically to it. And don't give up so easily. And when scale down, be graceful. Understand which market you are working, and understand its currents and behaviors, and be with it.
Right.
As an individual, as an entrepreneur, don't start the business without passion. Don't see someone else, and don't convert your hobby to a business. I never studied about this definition for passion and other things. I don't know. Even I don't know I am correctly pronouncing the word. But what I am is the passion is something. There is a big difference between your job, your hobby, and your passion. Your job is that you do for the money. Correct. Your hobby is even somebody not paying you, you will do it and you get happy about it. But the passion is something much beyond your job and much beyond your hobby.
Right.
Okay, so this passion is something very inclusive to your soul. Okay, your life energies. So until otherwise, if you think beyond failure, that's only comes when you are so inclusive towards your willingness towards to achieve this. So in passion, the people, if you have started a business with a passion, even the business is going down, you will never give up. You will still look for an opportunity. You will still constantly failing, and so on failing.
Correct.
If in job you will give up, in hobby you will give up, but in passion you never give up.
Yes, sir.
Fail and fail and fail. You will wait for the success. And when the success comes, you will not fully satisfied and stop.
Right.
Again, next fail and next fail and next fail, wait for the next success.
Right.
You will never stop.
Right.
So you will never stop during a failure and a success.
Right.
And that's what I always say.
In a business, what I'm understanding from our conversation, there's a lot of everyday effort and a lot of consistency, correct? Even in terms of like mental growth and like preparing yourself, making sure you have all the right tools and the support system and everything. So that was very great to know, sir. It was very good knowing that there's so much that goes behind even starting a company in terms of just planning your finances, planning what you want to do, and making sure what you're passionate about is something that you're going to be consistent with every single day. So much for joining us today, sir. It was very great getting all of this insight into your life and into your company and what it was like as an entrepreneur for you. So thank you so much once again for coming and talking to us. We hope this has helped every budding entrepreneur out there.
Indeed, thanks for you to really have me here, and I feel very relaxed after this interview, and I see your team members are very cooperative, and this is a very wonderful conversation we had.
Thank you.
And feel free to contact us anytime if you are looking for any sort of support. Visit our website qsale.qa, and my mobile number is 6681 5564, and looking forward.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.